Hello guys, this is JP Dreckmeyer. This is fact check for 24 April 2019. Quite a few events to cover today, well, happenings to cover. It's about 10 I'm going to go through. I don't have knowledge, well, the knowledge I would like of all of them, but the ones that I do have some knowledge on, I'll share it with you guys. A few walls, well, actually close to three. It depends on your point of view, of course, but Russia declared war in 1877 on the Ottoman Empire. It seems like a pretty complicated situation they had. I'm not too clued up on the time frame and the Ottoman Empire at that stage, but I do know the conflict was already existing when they entered it and when they actually declared war. And then 1898, Spain declares war on the US, rejecting America's ultimatum to withdraw from Cuba, which is quite interesting. I didn't even know about that. Then 1916, Irish nationalists launch Easter Rebellion against British. This is actually also kind of interesting. I've got a tiny bit more knowledge on this. The fact is actually that the IRB, Irish Republican Brotherhood, if I'm not mistaken, actually were seeking allies along the lines of Germany, because obviously in this time frame, 1916, the First World War was ongoing, and the Germans were enemies of the British, and the Irish, obviously, the Republican Brotherhood obviously thought they would get allies in that way. And actually there was a shipment of weapons that was, unfortunately for the Irish Republican Brotherhood, intercepted by the British. So I think they probably had some knowledge of what was to come. And then obviously on the 24th of April, about 1,600 men or members of this organization barricaded post offices and so forth. The rebellion was crushed in about a week's time. But, well, a few years down the line, they did gain a form of independence. At first, their people looked down on these guys, this Republican Brotherhood, but later on, they actually they kind of embraced them and basically called them heroes. So yeah, and then 1962, MIT sent first TV signal by satellite. They actually just sent the word MIT. I think it's about 2,000 mile distance. I think it was from California somewhere. And then 1970, China launches its first satellite. So they've been in the space game for quite some time actually. It's not that they started yesterday. Who knows, maybe they've got a space force as well. In any case, just a thought. Okay, then 1990, this is quite a big one actually. I think most of us will know about this one. The Americans launched the Hubble Space Telescope, which had a bill of around 1.5 billion. I'm not sure if it's just for the satellite's cost, but I think so, if I'm not mistaken. But there's quite a bit of information I've got on this one. Hubble Space Telescope, let's see, it went into service on the 20th of May 1990. Like I said, it was launched on the 24th of April. The lifespan is up to 2030 or 2040. I don't know the last time it was serviced or upgraded was in 2009. It was serviced and upgraded. Obviously, upgrades they have to do in space on a telescope like this. And it's huge. It weighed 11 tons, so it's a big satellite. Well, big telescope, space telescope. Actually, the first proposal for a space telescope was already made in, I think, 1923. Yes, 1923. So that's quite a long time. They didn't even have rockets at that stage. That's prior to World War II, when the first rockets were used in warfare. So I don't really know how they planned to get it into space at that stage. It was probably just like a theory at that stage. But it's quite significant that they already planned on having satellites or telescopes in space. Obviously, the idea behind this was to get interference from the atmosphere on Earth out of the way, so they could have better visibility and so forth, and see farther without interruptions in the atmosphere. Let's see what else was there. Oh yeah, the proposed launch was in 1983, but it was postponed due to technical delays and budgets. Obviously, it's a lot of money to budget for something like this, and to convince any government or organization to fund this would probably take some time. Even in today's standards, most likely. You didn't have like SpaceX back then. Yeah, and obviously the Challenger disaster delayed stuff as well because of the safety concerns. Yeah, so it was launched on the 24th, apologies, of April. And it was actually launched with, let's see, where was it? Discoveries, no. A space shuttle. Yeah, it was a space shuttle service. Apologies for that. And there's actually going to be a successor to this satellite, or this, sorry, I keep on saying satellite. There's actually going to be a successor to this telescope. The aim is to launch it in 2021. I'm quite curious what we can expect of this telescope, because if it's going to be launched only by then, can you imagine the technology that's going to be inside this thing? It should be quite interesting to see what they have on it. But yeah, like the Hubble Space Telescope is still going to be in service possibly up till 2040, and it's already been in use for 29 years. I would love to be able to see all the information they gathered on the telescope. It would be quite interesting. Okay, then next topic. This is a funny one. 1996, Bafana Bafana lose to Brazil 2-3 home game. So in South Africa they played against Brazil and they lost 2-3, which is actually not bad considering Brazil's big caliber team. Okay, and then back a few years, and the year 1900, the Boer War, die Boereoorlog. The dynamite factory in Johannesburg was blown up, and it was blamed on British sabotage. Interesting. I can believe that. It seemed like a lot of people had problems with the British at this stage in this 20-year period. In any case, then here's one especially for the ANC. Apparently this is where some of your problems started in South Africa. 1652, women and children who arrived with Jan van Riebeeck on De Reiger, Dromedaris and Goede Hoop. That's the 3 ships they used to come here. Is moved to shore in wooden structures. Obviously a temporary shelter that they made on shore, but obviously they just confirmed it's safe on land before they actually moved the women and kids ashore. So according to the ANC, this is probably where the big problem started for them, because now the settlers could multiply. But in any case, quite interesting. Yeah, so it was quite a busy day, and remember, this is just some of the points that I cover. I don't cover everything that I find that happened on a specific day. I cover some of them. And if there's specific things you would like me to cover, please comment and let me know, and I will do some research on it and cover it. And if there's some mistakes and something you don't agree with, let me know, and I'll check up on it. Sorry, just want to turn back on the PC screen there. I'm working on solar lights. This specific room I'm sitting in has got electrical issues of some kind. I don't know, maybe it's the ghosts. Yeah, so I'm using solar only here. Okay, guys, it is now exactly 1 minute to 12 on the 23rd, so I'm actually ahead of schedule now. I'm done with the 24th. Let me know if there's anything else you would like me to add to the videos. Apologies for the big headset, don't have a budget for a nice mic yet, but I'll work on it. yeah, so let's see, it's 11:59 now. I just want to make sure we go over to 12 o'clock so I can at least say that I was on the 24th when I finished this video, but it's just not ticking over to 12 o'clock. Come on, it's 11:59 now. Yeah, so like I said, if there's anything else you would like me to cover, please comment, let me know, subscribe, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down, whichever you prefer. Like to hear from you guys. Thanks guys. Cheers.